Hey, what's up, everybody? So first off, thank you to everybody who joined me on this morning's coaching call. Apologize for the noise. For everybody that wasn't on that call, so right now we have an annual camping trip that we do with my family where we come down to Carlsbad State Beach in California with a handful of other families and their kids and stuff. So it's one of those little workations where I try to keep up on stuff from the office, but try to connect with my family as much as possible. But for those who weren't able to join on today's call, that's the ocean in the background. I don't know if you can see it, but if you weren't on today's call, one of the things that we went through was recapping the year so far and then talking about how to make Q4 of this year the best of the year, and then make sure that we can position ourselves to just hit the ground running in 2025. So I was able to write down 7 things that have made the most impact for advisors this year so far. Talk about lessons that we learned along the way, things that we're doing for my business, talking about things that we're helping advisors with. And so I wanted to just recap those really fast for you because I think they're extremely important to understand from a foundational level to understand how to make your marketing work no matter what products you specialize in or what you like to sell or who you like to work with. There are some fundamental marketing principles that we have to remember. So number one, going through these really fast, is that your quickest path to cash is conversations. Now that's something I'll say over and over and over again, but it's extremely important for you to understand, especially with the industry that we're in, where we're working with high value clients who want to implement solutions with individuals or planners or advisors, professionals that they see as the subject matter expert. Now, those conversations are what allow you to be seen as that subject matter expert, but you have to remember that when it comes to the conversations, there are several different levels to these that you have to be aware of. So number one is going to be something like a direct message. Number 2 is going to be an email. Number 3 is going to be a phone call. Number 4 is going to be a meeting whether you're either on Zoom or face-to-face. Now, going into those 4 different categories, they're all important elements inside of the marketing equation. So starting off with something like a direct message, it's important that you have a premise to start that conversation. What I'll see with a lot of individuals or professionals that try to use LinkedIn is they really have some BS premise for the conversation where we all know it's a sales pitch. We all know that they're just looking to get clients, looking to get customers, and it comes across that way. But when you have a value-based premise that you are coming from to be able to start that conversation, this automatically starts you on a different level with that conversation between you and that prospect. So being able to offer that value, that's where we have the book offers or the checklists or the PDFs or the guides or whatever it might be that truly has value attached to it. And we're saying, hey, with everything going on, I'm offering this. It's going to show you how to do X, Y, and Z. No strings attached. Automatically, you're setting yourself up at a higher starting point than if you're just spraying and praying a sales message or trying to get on an introductory phone call. Now, with number 2, you need to be proactively creating those conversations. So this goes into being able to follow up consistently with your leads and with your prospects. So when somebody comes in and they request information from you, but they don't move forward, they ghost you for whatever reason, it doesn't mean they're dead. It doesn't mean they're not qualified. It doesn't mean that they won't do business with you. It simply means that they don't know what they don't know. That light bulb hasn't gone on in their mind to where they realize how important tax-free retirement is, or mitigating stock market volatility, or if your securities license, why they should invest with you versus their current financial advisor. One thing that I will guarantee about these high value prospects is that if they either have a lot of money or they're making a lot of money, 9 times out of 10, they're either actively working with your competition or they know one of your competitors. They know somebody that sells life insurance. They know somebody that sells annuities. So you have to be able to showcase that there is something else out there that they're missing. Somebody out there has more answers to their questions. Somebody does, they're better at the financial planning or retirement planning. That they're better than who they're currently working with. That all comes about through the conversations. Now, with that in mind, with these high value clients and high value prospects, relationships are crucial. We need to make sure that when we are in front of somebody, we are seen as transformational, not transactional. And this is true in my business as well, where when I hop on the phone or I hop on Zoom with somebody for the first time, they're typically expecting, I've heard this a lot, they're typically expecting a hardcore sales environment where it's like, hey, here's what I have, here's what I offer, take it or leave it. But when I'm able to showcase myself as being transformational and not transactional, then that's where I get people to circle back. And they may not close in that first meeting. And quite frankly, a lot of times I don't want them to close in that first meeting. I want them to understand exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. I need them to buy into the process. And then once they do, that's when we can make magic happen together. The same thing goes for your business. is when you're seen as transformational and not just pushing products, not just pushing annuities or IULs or whole life, where those may be the right solutions. But if you are seen as a product pusher, they're just not going to give you the time of the day. It's going to fall on deaf ears. They're going to go somewhere else. But if you're transformational in your approach and they see that you're truly doing what's going to be best for them in the long term, that's where you get somebody to really buy into you, buy into your process, and buy into the solutions that you're offering. Now, the most important thing that we have learned over the last year is that the fortune is in the follow-up. We've had so many cases come through, especially I would say over the last 6 months or so, where a prospect has been a connection on LinkedIn for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and now they're finally circling back to do business with the advisor. But it's all because of the consistent nurturing and education that has happened along the way. The way that I like to view you as a financial advisor, as a retirement planner, life insurance agent, is you are essentially a financial Sherpa who is going to be hand-holding each and every one of these leads and prospects and clients down the best path that's going to lead to the most success in their golden years or with their financial plans. Now, that oftentimes that's going to start with somebody just starting to climb the mountain, right? Somebody who's just starting out, who's just understanding that they need to do more with their financial plan or their retirement plan than that they were previously unaware of. Now, some of these folks are already at the top of the mountain. They're looking to get back down the other side. They're already in their golden years. They need to understand how to best navigate the tax traps or the retirement traps, the stock market volatility traps that happen when you're climbing back down the mountain, right? Some people are going to be, about to get to the top. Some people are 3/4 of the way up. But you want to make sure that with your systems and your follow-up and your process, you're able to address each person where they're at to be able to showcase how you can help them, whether they're climbing up the mountain or climbing back down the mountain. Now, with that in mind, is that with the fortune is in the follow-up and all the cliches you want to throw out there, the best thing that you can focus on with your leads, prospects, and clients is to consistently be present, to be able to be in front of them on a regular basis so that when they have a triggering moment in their life to where they're like, hey, I need to take action, I need to do something with my retirement plan or my nest egg or whatever it might be, whatever triggers them to the point where they're like, hey, I need to take action, you want to ensure that they're not looking around on Google to try to find the local retirement planner to look and see if annuities are good or bad or life insurance is good or bad or whatever. One thing that I can guarantee is that Ken Fisher with Fisher Investments, this is for those of you that focus on annuities, Ken Fisher has a much larger marketing budget than you and I both do. And so if you Google annuities, if you Google are annuities a good investment, I can almost guarantee that every single time you do that, Ken Fisher and Fisher Investments are going to pop right up to the top with a sponsored ad that talks about how annuities are bad or the secrets of annuities, or if you have over $500,000 in investable assets, here's what you need to know about annuities, right? It's going to actively sell against annuities. Now, are annuities good? Sure. Are they bad? I've seen them implemented in wrong situations, right? Annuities are just a tool, but if that's something where it's appropriate for the client, you want to ensure that they view you as that information source, not what they're going to find on Google, not what they're going to find through ChatGPT, that they come to you as that authority figure and as that expert that they have a relationship with as the information source to implement the solutions that are going to be best for them. So that being said, appreciate you all. Appreciate you bearing with me on the background noise, and I'll talk to you guys soon.